Hi everybody, we're just getting started here. This is a new service for us. I'm George Solotruck, trustee for the Village, Scotia. If you all could keep your mics muted until it's privilege of the floor. You have the ability to raise your hand, which we will be seeing as well. During that time, we're going to let you on 1 minute, one at a time, and you'll have a 3-minute time to speak during privilege of the floor. Welcome to our first time trying to formalize this, and here is Mayor Gifford.
So, welcome to the April meeting of the Village Board of Trustees. We're just sitting here in a relatively empty meeting room with right now 37 people signed in online, so pretty good. We've got I think 78 signed up, so probably other people will be coming in as we go along. We will start the meeting with the pledge to the flag. Try to show it here on my screen. We can, with the pictures of the old mayors, and we can go from there. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Solotruck.
Yes.
Trustee Gray. Trustee Gray.
Okay. Okay.
Trustee Rizzo. Trustee Rizzo. Trustee Tiberio. Mayor Gifford.
Here. So, is Joe unmuted, George?
I'm looking for him. Stand by. There he is. Joe, I just unmuted you. Are you there?
Trustee Rizzo, are you there? Sorry about that, guys.
I'm sending him one now.
Stand by for a minute. So George, how do we see the other people?
They're all lined up top.
Right, but nobody has video. Do we have to put them in?
No, I mean, if they want the video, they turn it on.
Okay.
So I wouldn't worry about seeing people.
Is Joe Rizzo there yet? Okay, we just need to go on. Item number 3 is presentation of local law number 2020C. You know what, we didn't have a general village before.
It's
I guess
after.
we probably. Oh, I see. Okay. Which is the authorization for the property tax levy in excess of the limit established by New York State General Municipal Law, Section 3C. So that's the first item of business. We'll have a public hearing on that. Then we will have a public hearing on the actual 2020-2021 budget. And we will, so if you want to speak on one or the other, it doesn't, that's your choice. We'll have both opportunities both times. So
if you want to speak,
if you want to speak toward the override of the tax cap, I guess we need to have a motion and a second.
we want to open the public hearing first, right?
No, that comes after, right? We have to
First
move
is
it.
the public hearing.
What?
First is the public hearing.
Okay.
So, raise your hand if you're.
So raise your hand if you would like to speak toward the override of the tax cap.
Peter Dillenbeck. Peter, can you hear us? Yeah. All right, you have
You have the floor.
the floor.
Any address?
Oh yeah, sorry.
So say your name and address for the record, please.
So I guess I'm just trying to understand what the use for the increase is, if there's any potential alternatives, maybe other programs or services that could be cut or mitigated to kind of compensate for that.
Okay.
That's my question, yes.
Okay, it's not really a question and answer. We can't do that, but so we will address that pretty much, I think, in the presentation. So after this, we'll do the budget presentation. Anybody else wish to be heard on the override of the tax cap? Raise your hand.
Can you guys see Jeff Summer now? It's weird that he's raising his hand in person
Oh.
instead of on the program.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see him now. Thank you. I will find him. Where are you, Jeff?
He's unmuted now.
Okay. Hi, Jeff.
Jeff, you're on.
Okay, thank you. My name is Jeff Silverdale, I'm a resident of 111 North School Street. Let's say, we've been here 11 years in Scotia, and we love the village, love the people here. I realize that the board and the mayor are caught between a rock and a hard place here. It's very difficult. But I just want to raise my concerns about, we already have high taxes in our community, and not just village taxes, but all the taxes.
Thank you. Anybody else like to be heard on the override of the tax cap? Okay, we'll close the public hearing on that, and,
Who, I'm sorry, state your name and address?
hi, if you're talking to us, that's fine, Donna, come on.
Well, it just seems, I sent an email earlier, it just seems like a bad time to be doing this. People are out of work, businesses have been shut down, it doesn't seem the time to raise taxes. I understand the problem that you have to provide services, but you're raising taxes on people when they can least afford it. We're in like this tough time where people have been, businesses have been shut down and people have been locked down due to Corona. And you're gonna raise taxes when people are out of work? That's gonna make people abandon houses and stuff. They won't be able to afford it. My landlord's already raising my rent once because of raising taxes.
Okay,
Oh, good. I think it's bad time to raise taxes, that's all I have to say.
thank you. Anybody else raising hand?
Yes,
Mike?
thank you, George. Mike Torelli, 26 Sunnyside Road. New York State sets a limit on how much the tax could be increased, correct?
So,
They can't, well, you can answer your questions. I would like just to comment on the fact that they set a limit for a reason.
yeah, true, yeah, okay.
Just put it out there for public consumption.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
So, let's,
I don't see anybody else.
all right, so we'll close the public hearing on the tax cap override, and I'll entertain a motion to do that.
To close the, to close it?
No, to,
We're gonna need Joe.
hmm?
We're gonna need Joe.
Alright, so, Heather, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay. Tom Tiberio's there. Where's-
We can't hear you, George.
Well, he's talking to himself, so that's okay. We just don't,
I'm looking for
we're
Joe.
looking for Joe.
There he is. Hey Joe, are you there?
I'm gonna have to call him.
Andrew's helping me out here. 852.
Hey, Joe.
If he calls in, we can unmute him.
Okay? So you're here, though? All right, good. So, I'll put it on speakerphone.
Where is it?
He should really call into the meeting.
Yeah, he needs to call in the meeting. Or
So,
figure out how to turn his microphone on his computer.
all right, Joe, can I hear you?
Gotta turn the volume
Try again.
Okay.
All right. So Joe, it's not gonna work.
No.
He needs to call and just take a break. George, we need a break.
Hey, everybody, give us like 2 minutes to make sure we get Trustee Rizzo in here. Sorry, give us a few minutes to let Trustee Rizzo in here. I appreciate your patience. First time with Zoom. Apologies.
So Joe,
Okay, Tom, am I on?
you are Joe. Great.
Tom,
Yes?
we hear you, Joe.
Oh, I didn't.
I'm on. I believe I'm on.
Joe, you are on.
Okay, good deal. I got
Hi, everybody. We got Trustee Rizzo on. Apologies for figuring this out.
I'm sorry for the inconvenience.
Okay. So, Trustee Rizzo and Trustee Gray, Trustee Tiberio are not in the room. I would entertain a motion to authorize the override of the property tax levy in excess of the limit established by General Municipal Law, Section 3C. Would anybody like to propose that?
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
I will second it.
Okay. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Gray.
Yes.
Trustee Solotruck.
Yes.
Trustee Tiberio.
No.
Trustee Rizzo.
Yes.
Mayor Gifford.
Yes. Okay, item number 4, the fiscal year 2020-2021 budget. First item is a public hearing. Would anybody like to be heard on the?
Presentation first.
Hmm?
You should do the presentation first.
Oh, okay, so we'll do our budget presentation first, if you hang on for just a second. Okay. So our budget process, so you understand it a little bit, we start in the end of January and put things together. The trustees meet with the department heads. They tell us what they really need, what they would like. We boil it down and come up with a budget. That's where we are today. We've been working hard on this for quite a while. So we start off with the expenditures, revenues. So the chart here is showing you where we were compared to last year. So as you can see, the things we have to spend money on is up and the revenues are down. The use of fund balance, the fund balance is basically the money we had left over from last year. It's money, it's taxpayers' money that we've had in our bank account. They ask us not to think of it as a savings account, but in any event, our fund balance has, we'll show you in another slide, has been getting smaller over the years. They've been spending it, and that's a little dangerous in a case of you have a rainy day. So we did not feel comfortable taking any more out of fund balance than the $150,000 we're talking about here. Last year we took $300,000 out, and it felt uncomfortable to most of us. So then we're proposing to balance that imbalance of revenues and expenditures with a property tax levy which comes to 6.19%. So the assessments went up just a little bit. The rate per thousand then is 4.92%. We're trying to keep that under 5. Anyway, that's the, so the cost of providing services has been a relatively even increase over the years. It keeps going up. It's the union contracts and the employees, most of what the village spends money on is employees, because they're the ones who do the work for you. So it's been a relative, it hasn't been a sharp increase, it's just a steady increase. So we have 3 ways of balancing the budget. So the miscellaneous revenues are just in general the things that we get outside the regular taxes every year. A pilot agreement is with a large developer that they make an agreement with the county to pay, it's called payment in lieu of taxes. So we get that on Holyrood, we get that on Baptist, we get that for 49 Mohawk Avenue. And they mostly stay the same. The 49 Mohawk Avenue has been increasing a little bit by agreement every year until we get to regular taxes. So the fund balance I already told you about, and then property taxes we all know and feel. So that's basically all we've got. Yeah. This is the slide showing what's happened to the fund balance over the last 10 years. We had it up on above 2 million, and it's now coming down below 1 million. So we don't have a lot more to spend down on that, and we need to keep a cushion just for our own fiscal stability, and also when we get when we have to borrow money for something like we hope that at some point we'll be improving our municipal facilities. When we go out for bond for that, the better our fiscal status, the better the rate we get. So we're hoping to keep that from going any much lower. So this is the slide with the revenues and expenses to show you what's happened over the last, it's more like 20 years. The revenues are pretty flat, and the expenses are constantly increasing, as are everybody's expenses. This is a slide with the cost of healthcare, which is one of our major expenses.
Mayor, can you ask everybody to mute their lines, please? Because
Sorry. So this is the. You all right, George?
Yeah, I think,
Okay. Tom, am I still on?
yes.
You are.
Okay, good, okay, just checking.
Okay. So the healthcare expenses, they keep going up every year by leaps and bounds. So we basically, they're contractual with the different employees, and we basically have to pay that. The number keeps getting bigger. So this is a retirement contribution. So when we they first started doing the retirement system, it didn't cost anything, and it's gone up to, as you can see, $700,000 a year. And this is basically something the state just tells us what the number is, and we have to have to pay them that. It goes into the state retirement fund. The personnel costs are, not nearly as steep as the other two that we just went. We've been between 1.5% and 2% raises every year. And that's also negotiated with the unions. And then, so in the executive budget that we posted on the website, we have, after a lot of work with the Board of Trustees, deciding what we should put in, what we should take out. There are not a lot of things that you're allowed to take out. I mean, we couldn't, we can't see how to reduce fire, police, public works. Those people are all needed every day. That we had a number of project-like things that we considered cutting, and we felt like, so the list there, the sidewalk project, so we every year we encourage people to fix their sidewalks. I know this is one thing that Donna was particularly interested in. So we have a fund that helps people. It pays some percentage of the sidewalk back when you fix yours. So we've kept that up. The Flint House is a gem of the village, a historical house that we're keeping the funding the same. The community garden, George is responsible for that, and it's a wonderful place next to the Flint House. That it doesn't cost very much, but it's great for the village. Vehicle replacement, we changed that a little bit, lowered it, but basically we feel it's important to keep our vehicles in good shape. They cost less to maintain that way. They work better. They don't, we don't have people breaking down and that sort of thing. So it's we're proud of our fleets. So we spend money on park guards to keep the vandalism down in the park. That's something that we don't have to do, but we feel it makes the park a better place to be, so we decided to keep that. And then the crossing guards, so there are a bunch of, what is it, six, I think, places in the village where kids are walking to school, and we have employees who go out there in the morning and the afternoon to check to make sure that the kids cross safely. So that was a rather large number that we considered cutting out and decided that it wasn't worth the price. It was that people really needed that. And then so we don't anticipate any change in the sewer rates. The water rates we're talking about, they're not due till a little later in the summer, but we will. That's a separate fund, has nothing to do with this budget, and we're expecting it'll probably change sort of the same as last year. So anyway, that's what's in the budget. The only thing that's out that's particularly noticeable is that we did not fund the youth program in the park. We half funded it last year. We felt that it was not serving enough kids to make it efficient. So we may have, it may make it hard on some people, but we're sorry for that. Anyway, we'll go. So this is how the pie chart of how, what the taxes go for every year. So that if you, this is based on a home that's $125,000 assessment, with the tax rate that we're looking at with the proposed budget. So you can see how much of it is for people and services. So basically everything except the debt and the retiree health are things that everybody really needs, and the debt and the retiree health we can't do without. So it's we think we've done a pretty good job. The major share of that, the fire and police, is more than half, and we love them all, and we feel like our citizens do too. So anyway, this is that's the end of the slides. We will leave that one up for a minute and move on to the public hearing. Is there anybody who would like to be heard relative to the 2021 budget? Just if you can, raise your hand on the side of your screen. You have a place that says raise hand. Where is that, George?
If not, they can send a chat and I'll monitor that.
If not, you can send a chat and we'll call on you there.
There's our Christy Noble.
Okay.
You guys just saw her. Christy, where are you, Christy?
Christy Noble, we got you. Okay, say your name and an address if you would, please.
I was curious to find out if there's been any efforts to look at the expenses in some of the departments, fire, admin, areas like that, to see if there's any waste going on, to see if things could be kind of minimized there.
Oh, okay. I'd be very surprised, but it's yeah, it's. Any more?
That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Christy.
Any other? Donna Hamill.
Yeah, the sidewalk question, I don't see anything getting fixed on the sidewalk. Why are we spending money on it?
Well,
Been absolutely nothing done on Mohawk.
yeah, well, that fund doesn't affect the bid. It affects just the residential.
So I'm paying for stuff that's no benefit to me.
Possibly.
I have to go up and down Mohawk on a power chair, it's very dangerous, because the sidewalk is so rough. It's actually doing me physical harm. You ran on this, and nothing's being done, and it's in part of the budget. I say we cut that. I mean, if it's not fixing the sidewalk, why is it there?
Okay.
I voted for you to do this.
Who's next?
Kelly Light.
Kelly Light. Go
Okay,
ahead.
Kelly, you're on. Kelly?
She sent a chat that says, I've never seen security in the park. Are the crossing guards covered in the school budget?
Is there not?
Her speaker isn't working.
Okay. Okay, so there's some hands raised there, George, you wanna?
Mike Torelli.
Mike Torelli, you're on.
Actually, Sue Torelli, Sue Torelli, 26 Sunnyside.
Okay, so,
I'd like to just build on something that Jack pointed out in the previous public hearing for the tax increase.
yes,
You know, even after seeing the presentation you just put up, I mean, it's apparent that our costs just keep going up and up and up, and our revenue is not. And we just can't, I mean, if we ran our house budget like that, you know, we would be bankrupt. And I think that's something we need to think about now before that happens. It looks like we're dipping into our general fund. It looks like in 6 years, if you continue to take $150,000 out of it, it'll be gone. And then the tax increase then will be even more. I just don't see how we can continue this trend. Scotia is built out. We're not going to get a larger tax base. Our revenue has been stagnant. We unfortunately, I think, need to take a look at some hard decisions, which I think include looking at our biggest expenses, which are the fire department and the police department, and come up with some way that we can share services for consolidated services. We just can't continue down this road.
thank you.
Peter Dillenbeck.
Peter, you're on again.
I did also see Kelly's mentioned parks and church. I've never seen, going back to the, I love all of it. I've never seen it, I've always seen work going on, the same. So, I don't know if they are really much accurate. And then just on the cost, I see the cost. Mostly increasing, because the capital building part, which remains the same, so it's we were, isn't really getting that much bigger. Our cost of potential. Maybe they might, other sorts of things, other things. But I just need to highlight, we're in an unprecedented situation. Federal government's currently printing money, which is going to, near causing all of our services. So essentially, we're gonna have, pay more for the gosh, on top of that, it's good for the bank. So we don't know what kind of taxes the states are going to raise. So really, it just seems irresponsible to be raising taxes at a time where it seems like there's areas people need cuts or need better spending. I guess that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, thank you. I didn't get your address, Peter, where do you live?
805 Cambridge Center.
Great, thank you.
I have a few chats.
Got any other hands up?
Give me 1 second to peruse. I do not see any more hands.
Okay, so who do you have for chat?
Kelly Light, disappointed that you are not addressing the concerns and ignoring residents' concerns. Security for the park, is that something that the police do? Aren't the police doing that? Kristen Schultz. Hello, I'm wondering why the police department budget keeps increasing for a town this size. Wouldn't you say that the spending is disproportionate to the size of the municipality? Donna Hamill. Are we still spending money on moving the fire station?
Not in this budget.
It was something that we think about moving it into a March.
Is there anybody else who'd like to be heard relative to the budget?
This is Justin Cook, 5 Main Street.
Yes, Justin.
I just want to actually add on to the police and to the fire. One of the things that makes the village a unique place to live is the fact that it is safe and is well protected. Part of that expense, I just want to make note in the public record, is we are paying for advanced life support when we need it. If we were to consider consolidating services outside of the village of Scotia, we would lose that very essential service. And we would have to rely on private ambulance contractors that we as residents end up paying for in our ambulance bill. Not to mention, we actually end up losing critical time. And there are moments when that is needed. And I know myself personally, that's one of the main reasons why I choose to live in the village, is knowing that my family is safe and my family is protected from that. Also, the fact that we can rely on the police department, that is very much connected and engaged with the community. Police officers that our children know and see in school, and in fact they do see it in the park. And then also park security, especially during the busy summer months. And as someone who lived off the park for the last 10 years, I will say that if we don't even have the modest expense of park guards, the increase in expenses from vandalism is something that will still end up coming out of the executive budget. So one of the things that we're obviously challenged with as a village is, staying within what we can maintain and what we can afford, but at the same time, valuing and really looking and asking ourselves what the specific services that do take up a considerable amount of resources and what they need for quality of life in the village.
Thank you very much.
Couple.
Hmm?
Now, could you just clarify the park security versus the police? That they're separate officers?
I mean, they're completely different. Just write down who that is and we'll write them a response.
He meant to say please, Maria.
Please.
Mike Torelli forgot to mention that the one thing you cut is the only service for families. A lot of people who have children at home in the summer depend on that.
It's not a lot. There were 20 last year and it didn't. Anyway.
I think Michael Barbieri has his hand up.
Yes, Michael.
Go ahead, Michael. Yes.
Okay, my complaint is,
Name and address.
you have the $200 bill for the firehouse, it's gonna be, you have the school budget, that's gonna be another 4%. You guys want 6%. No attempt whatsoever to cut any cost. There's no, you're a private sector business, you have to look at cutting serious costs. And the obvious glowing thing down that you guys have got is the fire. Okay? The town of Rotterdam has a volunteer fire department.
Thank you, Michael, that's good. As most people know, I'm a volunteer fireman here in the village, so we do have volunteers. I went to 727 calls last year. It's not all of half of the calls we had, and it's not something volunteers can do. It's just you got to hire people.
Yeah, well, they do it in Rotterdam and they do it in Gilpin. They do it. Local guys do it. Everybody else seems to have a good, everybody else seems to get away
Okay.
with their fire department.
They don't do 1,500 calls a year. Okay.
Capital district, and we, for some reason, can't do it. Why? I mean, do we have a high, bad health in this village?
Sure, thank you.
You guys are only doing 5 calls a day.
So, thank you. That's we'll take note of that. Thanks, Mike. Would anybody else like to be heard? Okay, so hearing none, we'll close privilege of the floor. I would entertain a motion to approve the 2020-2021 budget as stated in the executive budget. Heather, Joe?
I will make the motion to approve the 2021 budget as written.
I will second that motion.
Heather got in first, Joe.
Okay.
Clerk call the roll.
Trustee Gray.
Yes.
Trustee Solotruck.
Yes.
Trustee Tiberio. Trustee Rizzo.
Yes.
Mayor Gifford.
Yes. Item number 5 is general privilege of the floor. Is there anybody who'd like to say anything about village business not related to the budget?
Scanning.
Got anybody, Maria? Okay, well, seeing none, we'll close privilege of the floor. Item number 6, can we have a motion to authorize the mayor to sign the June 1st renewal of the MVP health plan for the village?
Make a motion. I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Item number 7, we have an authorization to have the mayor sign the June 1st renewal of the MetLife dental plan for the village of Scotia.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Opposed? Item number 8, can we have authorization to authorize the mayor to sign the agreement for grant administration services with Chase & Companies for the Mohawk Shawnee Trail Grant in an amount not to exceed $11,700?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 9, can we have a motion to authorize the mayor to sign agreement for the grant administration services with Chase & Companies for Collins Park redevelopment project in an amount not to exceed $17,070?
I'll make the
I'll make
motion.
the motion.
Do you second, Joe?
I'll second it, sir.
Okay. All in favor?
Hey, just to confirm, is that for the like the Shawnee connector and all the stuff that the grants that we've received? Yeah.
Well, number 8 was the Shawnee connector.
Okay.
So,
Does it, Tom, does that include the white pack with the drainage and everything?
that was the other one. That was
Okay.
number 8.
Okay. So aye to item number 9. Thank you.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 10, we have a motion to authorize the mayor to sign an agreement with Solitude Lake Management for algae treatment in an amount not to exceed $20,000. This is one we carried over from last year.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 11. Can I have a motion to authorize the mayor to sign a memorandum of understanding with the town of Glenville to retain and pay for a consultant related to the sidewalk installation at Sacandaga School?
I'll make the motion.
I'll make the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, item number 12, the Village of Scotia MS4 Annual Report Summary. Where do we have that? Oh, yeah. This is the most exciting part of the whole program, guys. George, can you put me up on that screen? So that, I don't know, he can look at me anyway, it doesn't matter. Never mind. Okay, so every year, the DEC requires the village to tell what it's been doing in terms of the, it's called MS4. MS4 means Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System. So it's 4 S's and an M. Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System. So we have a storm sewer that takes water from the land and puts it someplace. The other abbreviations used in here are MCM, Minimum Control Measure, and SWPPP, Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan. So, we filed this with the EC, and we're required to read it to at a public meeting. Maybe better if we cheat a little there. Okay, so MCM number 1, public education. Stormwater pamphlets, handouts, and posters are available at the village clerk's office, DPW office, and building department office. The village water quality report postcard was sent to all residents and included a link to the village's MS4 program webpage. Yard waste and loose leaf pickup programs were posted on the electric sign in Collins Park. On the village website, the mass email list of 955 residents and advertised in the Gazette. The village handed out stormwater brochures at the fire department open house on May 4th, 2019. Approximately 100 people attended the event. MCM 2, public involvement and participation. Schenectady County Water Quality Committee meetings. The village is represented at all 10 meetings each year. On April 18, 2019, for the canal clean sweep, the water ski team cleaned up along the riverbank. Item 3, including the 4th of July fireworks cleanup, the Collins Park and Freedom Park cleanup programs resulted in the collection of approximately 100 bags of garbage. The MS4 annual report is posted on the village website and available at the clerk's office for review and comment. Item 5, 24,000 pet waste bags were utilized. And that's the doggy pot bags in the park. MCM3, illicit discharge detection and elimination. All 25 storm sewer outfalls are mapped within the village. 10 were inspected on December 1st, 2019. The locations of storm sewer outfalls and catch basins are mapped and available for view on the Schenectady County Internet Mapping System. MCM 4 and 5, construction site and post-construction control. During the program year, there was one project requiring SWPPP reviews. 2, the village inspected 3 post-construction stormwater management practices that are owned by the village, several times each during the year. Maintenance was performed as needed, including mowing of the grassed areas. MCM 6, municipal operations. 9 of 16 village employees trained to implement the best management practices in erosion sediment control to avoid stormwater pollution in their duties at the DPW garage and their field operations. During the past year, Village streets were swept 2 times each for a total of 104 miles, cleaned, and approximately 2 acres of parking lots were swept. 25 catch basins were inspected and cleaned as necessary, approximately 6% of the system. The Parks Department applied minimal amounts of fertilizer in village parks and none near Collins Lake to combat high phosphorus levels. Okay, so that is the reading of the MS4 report. Thank you. Mayor's comments to the board. The village has been continuing to provide good services to people. We're proud of it. We have put a hold on the municipal facilities program, but we need it more than ever. So as soon as we possibly can, we're going to we intend to keep working on that. There are a number of issues still out there, and we're working through them. So we will probably be back with a similar meeting soon relative to that. Item number 14, correspondence, liaison, and special committee reports. Heather?
Yes,
She muted herself.
You there?
yes, report from DPW, Andrew Copehouse, superintendent. He did send an email with regards to trash. That email was sent out on April 3rd. I would encourage all village residents to sign up for that email so they are apprised of all current events and notices in the village of Scotia. The yard waste collection will start on April 7th until December 3rd. With regards to report from the town of Glenville, I have had multiple conversations with the supervisor, Chris Kensley. Those conversations entail working together on various projects, and I will follow up with him in the next couple weeks, and I do hope that we can engage in some positive projects for both the village of Scotia and the town of Glenville. So I am optimistic with regards to that. That's all I have to report.
Thank you, Heather. Tom, do you have any report?
Well, we had no meetings this month because we can't have any meetings. I just want to comment that I hope the board in the future will take a better look at working to ease the burden of taxes on our residents. I'm still very upset with how the budget process went this year and the dialogue between it. I'll leave it at that because the budget is what the budget is now. Thank everybody for coming tonight. It's interesting doing these things remotely, but it's good to see over 40 people at a meeting, which I don't think we've ever had in Village Hall. So in the future, hopefully we can keep doing this and keep our residents involved. Thank you.
I love the Oval Office background.
It looks better than my job that I did in my house.
Okay, Joe?
Okay, all our committees for the car show and Memorial Day parade are being put on hold due to the virus problem. We don't know if we're going to have a Memorial Day parade possibly during Labor Day. That's being talked about right now. The car show looks like it is on hold, and we don't know if we're going to have it or not. It depends on how this virus thing works out, but everything's on hold. The liaison from the county building and all the employees have been on hold. They've been trying to do meetings like we are. They're trying to schedule one up as we speak for everybody. Most of the departments in the county have been closed. Our DPW garage in Rotterdam, that is county-run DPW, has been delivering food
volume because I'm talking at the same time with my microphone. So, I just wanted to start off by saying thanks to Trustee Tiberio for his service to the board, and congratulations on your contract for your house sale. I think it's going to be a great move for your family and appreciate your service. I also want to take my time to talk about the budget and speak to and acknowledge, Peter and Christy and Kelly, Mike and Susan, Michael Barbieri, Christy Noble. These are all things that go through our mind all the time. There are tough discussions going on, and Trustee Tiberio's right that it's not an easy discussion as we move forward. I think we did a really, I think as we are in these trying times and we acknowledge them, they're trying for everybody in various and different ways. And we owe it to ourselves to try and maintain what we have going in and going out. And then, obviously we look at these things every year. We identify the fact of the fund balance, we identify the fact that there are some high cost things that we really do treasure and care for. I personally have had to use those career services, and I will stand by those career services for a very long time. And I'm always in the not spend more money mode when it comes to all these discussions for the budget. So I just would like to say as publicly as we can right now to currently 41 people that we really do take into account all of the things that are brought up, and we really do have the same discussions with ourselves and amongst ourselves as we go through these budget times. And at the end of the day, we make decisions as residents and as the residents propose that they would like to continue. So please know that, and the fact that we do the things we do is for the continuance of the village, and it's looked at every year. So I hope everybody's staying safe. As far as the park's concerned, certainly get out and walk around and stay your safe distance apart, but you notice that our parks are kind of shutting down the playgrounds and the play spaces, and you really need to adhere to the guidance that has come from the governor and from the federal government, that we just need to maintain ourselves for a little while longer, and look forward to seeing everybody out and about this summer. So thank you.
Thank you, George. Departmental reports. Can we have a motion to accept them?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Item number 16, approval of budget adjustments for March 2020. What's that, Maria?
The budget adjustments that we approve each month. They were emailed with the financial reports.
I'll make a motion to approve those.
I'll second.
Okay, call the roll.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Solichak?
Yes.
Trustee Tiberio?
Yes.
Trustee Rizzo?
Yeah, different.
Mayor Gifford?
Yes. Item number 17, audited claims. We have a motion to pay our bills.
I'll make the motion to pay our bills.
I'll second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Solichak?
Yes.
Trustee Tiberio?
Yes.
Trustee Rizzo?
Yeah, different.
Mayor Gifford?
Yes. Item number 18. We have a motion to approve the minutes of the March 10th meeting.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Item 19, we have a motion to approve the minutes of the March 11th meeting.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Item number 20, can we have a motion to approve the minutes of the March 30th meeting?
I'll make the motion.
I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Item number 21, new business. Does anybody have anything? Can we give the order?
Tom, I just want to thank all the department heads for doing a great job on the budget. I know it's a very bare bones budget for them, and they did a lot of cutting, and we did a lot of cutting, and I just want to thank them for working with us and trying to get this budget in place for the village. Not much I can say except thank you. We are working on different other ways we can possibly increase our tax base or have a better control on our expenditures. So that's what we're going to be doing during the other months that come on.
Thank you, Joe. Something else?
Yeah, I wanted to bring up the community garden, and usually by now we'd be processing applications and gearing up to start Mother's Day. I know we have guidance on up to about the 29th now as far as restrictions with the COVID-19 response. I do feel that we will maintain 6 feet of separation, and I do not think we will have 10 people together at one point. I do see it as a important resource for the village, the people who have participated over these past years to be able to have that to participate in a kind of a normal time frame. So I would like to request state that we're going to do that, and there'll be a notification going out pretty soon, as long as no one opposes the fact that that will be moving forward. Again, adhering to the guidance that's coming to us from the government, from the federal government and the state government to maintain 6 feet. Do not have people more than 10 people there at one time. I don't think I've ever seen 5 people there at one time, and we have a pretty good separation between the beds. So I would like to continue with the expectation that we'll be able to hand them to the residents again right around Mother's Day weekend.
Say something for a second.
Sure.
Do you need anybody to turn over the soil over there? I'll be glad to do it for anybody that needs it to have it done.
Thank you. I'll put that out there. We get support from Jimmy Marks and the parks. They let us use the rototiller. They bring us dirt when we need it. It's a really great little resource for the village that just, again, adhering to the guidance as we should be, but still have an expectation that it will land at the same time.
Thank you.
If anybody listening is interested in a garden plot, they need to get in touch with George or the village clerk's office, and we can get you in touch with him. I have a spot there every year, and it's a great place and works well. And one other,
Mayor Gifford,
yes.
I just wanted to, we spent a lot of time working on the budget, and we've made a lot of hard decisions, and unfortunately, it's a difficult time, and I want to make sure our residents stay safe, and thank you for attending the meeting today, and Mary, you did a great job for first time being on Zoom.
Thank you. So we have one other item that we talked about a little bit. Our consultant for the facilities project recommended that we have an engineer look at the floor of the fire station. I talked to the two people he recommended. One was from Liverpool and cost $4,000, and one was from Ballston and cost $800. I had the guy come down maybe prematurely. I apologize for that if it's true. I thought it was more of an emergency thing. Anyway, he came and looked at it. I would like the board's permission, if we could, to pay him $870 for his services. I'm thinking we may need him back. I talked to Sean today. He suggests that the same guy look at it again and give instructions for where the we need to. He tells us we need to shore up the floor some more so it doesn't fall down. He recommended that we move the reserve engine out of this fire station immediately. We did that. Apparently the worst spot is in the northeast corner by the boilers. So we would like to get him to come back and give us specifications so we can get a steel person in and actually shore up the floor. So I would like to have approval to spend spend $870 for the services of Craig Maloney, structural engineer. And I would like, if you could, to authorize me to spend an additional amount not to exceed that $870 for a design of a support system. Is anybody willing to move that?
Just fill it in.
Sorry?
Put in. You don't need that space down there.
Mute.
It has nothing to do with the space down there. We're in fact, probably closing it off by doing this.
So you're asking for a motion to do the support design, the 800?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, I would like to make that motion to do that. It's definitely needed.
I'll second.
Okay, clerk call the roll.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Solichak?
Yes.
Trustee
Yes.
Tiberio?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Trustee Rizzo?
Yes.
Mayor Gifford?
Yes. Thank you. Anybody else with any new business? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll second. Thank you for attending the meeting tonight. It will get better if we have to continue this way. It's our first time with this Zoom technology. And we definitely identified a couple shortcomings with the more people being in the room here. It doesn't make for a good transmission. So thank you for attending. Like Trustee Tiberio said, it's great to see more than 40 people involved and paying attention. Then in the future, the information can get distributed more appropriately. So thank you. Stay safe out there and talk soon.
Thank you, everybody.